It was back on the road for the Wisconsin Badgers on Saturday afternoon down in Bloomington, Indiana to take on the Hoosiers. We'll get highlights and reaction from Saturday's game. Our senior salute this week, we focus on outside linebacker Garret Dooley, putting together a very good senior year for Wisconsin. And we'll visit with head coach Paul Chryst. And among the topics on today's show will be some of the players who may not necessarily be household names, at least not yet, but they certainly have factored in to the Badgers being a contender in the Big Ten Conference. All that coming up on the Badgers Sports Report.
The Indiana 18-yard line, 1st and 10. The handoff, or a play fake rather. Hornibrook throwing to the right, and wide open is Alec Ingold. Touchdown, Wisconsin. Beautifully executed play, the play fake, and Ingold all alone, and the Badgers are in for the first time today. 3 receivers left, 2 on the right. Empty backfield for the quarterback, Alex Hornibrook. Takes the snap, pressure coming. Hornibrook hit as he throws, left side. It is caught by Quintez Cephas. Touchdown, Wisconsin. What a throw, what a catch. Badgers take the lead. Lego takes the snap. Badgers rushing forward. Tight pocket. Lego. Down he goes inside the 10-yard line. Leon Jacobs getting to the quarterback. They'll mark it inside the 10 of Indiana. The Badgers, they need 2 yards here of the Indiana 46-yard line. Ingold, the fullback. Groshek, the tailback. Play fake. Hornibrook looking, drifting off to his right. He'll throw it to his right. Pryor goes up and makes the catch. Oh, what a catch at the 32-yard line. Taylor wide right, motions left. Jet sweep left. Here's Taylor trying to find room to the 30, to the 25, to the 20, to the 10, 5. Touchdown, Wisconsin. Jonathan Taylor on the jet sweep takes it to the end zone.
Definitely seeing outside, we always talk about, cutting up and out. So, just had to get in the end zone today. It's just been a while, just being back off the field for a while for me. So, it was just a great feeling. It was a lot of fun today.
He's just really good. I don't know, when he's on the field though, his demeanor is really impressive, especially for a guy that's as young as he is. You wouldn't be able to tell. So it's awesome to see him out on the field doing what he does.
2nd and 20 for the Hoosiers at their own 11-yard line. 3 receivers left, 2 on the right. Lego looking to throw. Tyler Johnson hits him as he throws. The pass is intercepted by Joe Ferguson inside the 30-yard line, and again it was Tyler Johnson helping make that play possible. Shaw remains in there at tailback. Ingold remains in there at fullback. And the give to Ingold again into the line and into the end zone. Touchdown, Wisconsin. Alec Ingold popping through from a yard away. It's 30-17, Wisconsin. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left on 1st and 10. Montpelier starts in motion, wide left to the right, back to throw, and the pass goes off the hands of Timian, and Joe Ferguson gets another interception inside the 35-yard line.
Most of it is just being in the right spot at the right time. You got to trust what the coaches are telling you. Trust the defense. Know your rules and trust that your teammates are going to be where they're supposed to be. So a lot of that was just being in the right spot at the right time, and that's the defense. If you trust it, good things happen.
You guys don't see it, but he makes those plays in practice just about every day, and it's so awesome to see him come out here and just do something like that his senior year. And we needed a spark, and he came up with 2 big ones and a fumble recovery. So just a guy who you're happy for because he's worked so hard to get to this point.
Handoff goes to Shaw, straight ahead to the 30, 25-20, he's gone. Touchdown, Wisconsin. And he's taken down by Ryan Conley. Fires to the right to the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown, Wisconsin. Sending 4, and one of them comes in scot-free. And there is a big, big win for the Wisconsin Badgers.
The Badger Sports Report is presented by Zimbrick European, by UW Health, UW Health Sports Medicine, the healthcare team for the Badgers. Learn more at uwsportsmedicine.org.
Most people don't know that UW Health and the University of Wisconsin are national leaders in the field of kidney transplant. They provide new life for those who will likely die without a transplant, and they assure a normal life for those who donate. I would know. I donated a kidney, and together, we saved a life.
UW Health. Remarkable.
Ready, Tim?
Let's do this.
Was that Mike?
That's Harry. The car stopped for me.
And that's automatic emergency braking.
The Nissan Rogue family. Take on today.
Bottom line, they still can't touch you.
I'll take it.
Get to Nissan, proud supporter of college athletics.
My salesperson is Joe Santowski, and from the moment I first walked through the doors here and he extended his hand to greet me, it's been the best relationship since then. He knows this brand and cars in general so well that I trusted him from the moment I met him. He was obviously so interested in exactly what I was looking for, what I wanted, but let me explore on my own.
I thought guys played and they responded and made plays and certainly, you know, didn't start the way you want when the turnover in the red zone. But I thought guys just, particularly Alex, he just kind of kept his poise and kept playing, and certainly the takeaways were a big part of the game.
There's no panic. Like, that's what I like about our team. We were down 10-zip. It's like it felt like we was up 25-zip. Everybody on the sideline laughing, having fun. You know, it's just no panic from the guys, and that's what I like to see because we're gonna need that in the future.
I think it was just a part of, you know, being ready for the opportunities. You know, being a backup to Rams, great guy, but you know, it was my turn to step up for this team, and I just had to be ready for this opportunity. So, you know, it wasn't just today; it was, you know, long, you know, months before this, just working every day on just little things to try and get better.
They brought a lot of pressure. Didn't really see a lot of base defense from them, and we kind of switched to our gap scheme in the second half. I think that kind of settled everything down and made you know, made our offense go in the run game particularly.
Just by running the football, I think, which is what we want to do. I think we did exactly what we wanted to. Keep it on the ground, keep playing physical, and hopefully the defense will start to give in a little bit.
Coming into this game, you know, I felt great. Definitely was 100% confident in how I was feeling and in the game plan. So. Definitely felt good.
I've said it before. It's the game we play, and sadly, guys are going to go down, and you never know who it's going to be. But I think just our team is so locked in, and you know, Tyler Johnson's been huge. You know, giving Dooley and Leon a blow, and I just think guys are always ready to go and, you know, hungry to be on the field.
Keeping up with the technique and putting in consistent work in practice. So when Coach Tibbs has confidence in me and puts me out there in the field, I am confident in myself that I can make plays.
He's just championed his role. I said this last week, he went from just kind of giving the guys a breather to someone that's contributing and showing up on the stat sheet in a big way. And it just goes to show, like, all the work that he's put in and like the tenacity he brings. So I'm really happy for Tyler. We're really good friends. We'll laugh together about this. We're like a dynamic duo, me and him.
It's good, to be honest. It was just kind of like Ferg does, just taking care of my business off the field. When guys aren't looking, living with TJ last year, I learned a lot of it from him. Just taking care of myself, always doing the right thing, and trying to make sure I get better at something every day. So it's good to see it finally paying off.
It's fun. He's a guy that can make plays and he'll compete for you, and we're pretty close. And after there's a play, whether he catches it or not, we're always right next to each other talking about it. So it was fun to see him all jacked up and pumped up when he got that touchdown. But you know, we'll see how he's doing afterwards. We saw him talk to him, and hopefully he's gonna be all right.
This is Lexi Rush,
She's 10, and she's amazing. You see, Lexi was born deaf and couldn't hear anything. That was until her doctor in Appleton referred her to the pediatric specialists at UW Health in Madison. Now, 2 operations later, Lexi can hear everything. Powerful minds, compassionate care, amazing results. UW Health. Remarkable.
A little wide to the right on second down. Play fake. Hornibrook rolls off to his right. The left-hander winds up, lets it go right side, and that's caught by Danny Davis inside the 20-yard line. Golding Groshek, the backfield combination. Handoff in Gold, and he is in again. Touchdown, Wisconsin. 3 receivers right, 1 on the left. Lego back to throw, tight pocket, and he gets sacked inside the 20-yard line, and that will wrap it up.
Part of the fun of following sports is you never know exactly who will be major contributors. A lot of times we think we know, like in the case of the Badgers, Jonathan Taylor obviously on offense, guys like TJ Edwards, Dakota Dixon on the defensive side, but it can be other names as well. And Paul, that's really been a part of the story, I guess, of this team this season. Garrett Groshek coming in, Alec Ingold re-emerging. You can go on and on. The things that make you feel good about what you do, I would imagine that's prominent on the list, seeing these guys who wait their turn and then jump on it when the opportunity is there.
Absolutely, and you know that they're getting that opportunity in a game because of all the things that they've done leading up to that. And you know, one also comes to mind I thought was big, and you know, a couple of weeks ago was Zach Hintz and what he's done. You know, and he's coming in for PJ, and you know, Ferg's now had, you know, big play interceptions both in the red zone. You know, Tyler Johnson's come in, and Adam Krumholtz plays 6 snaps, and just, you know, as the season goes on, you're going to need everyone. And it's fun when you see other guys get their moments. Like, those are their first snaps, those are their first scores, or those are their first tackles or picks, and they're starting to build their resume. A lot of guys start that way, and yet, you know, when they get their opportunity, you don't know when it's going to happen, and therefore you appreciate the work they put into it, so when the time does come that their number's called, they're ready. And then not just to play, but when they can contribute, those are meaningful things. You know, we have during the season, you know, players speak, and that was one thing Garret Dooley talked about last week was, you know, it's everyone needs to step up and need contribution. And you talk about Jonathan and TJ. You know, TJ needs double-digit tackles, you know, for us to be, or we can expect that from him. Maybe it's a caused fumble or an interception, but you know, when Tyler Johnson comes up with a strip sack, that's huge because it's coming from a place maybe you didn't think or you plan on getting that production. So we need everyone down the stretch here.
It's fun to learn about a lot of these guys too. You mentioned, you know, Adam Krumholtz. He was a good football player, really good track athlete at Stoughton. Jack Dunn, who you've had in there in the receiver rotation at times, he was a standout player at Edgewood. And they might roll their eyes here and me say standout player, but they were.
Right.
They're modest, but they're kind of living the dream here, not only being a part of a team, but contributing in the guts of games. And like you're counting on these guys to fulfill their roles.
We are, and it's what's also fun when you talk about that and you see some of the, I think there's initially, I was like that when I first, you know, boy, I'm on the team, and that was a big deal. And then it was, I got to play, you know, and they can never take that away. But now it's been fun to see them kind of change their mindset into how can I contribute. And so it's less about, you know, I think when you first play, when you first come on the field, every kid talks about the fans and all that. And maybe when they first go in for the first couple snaps, boy, it was in front of all these people. But then as you start focusing more and more about the game, it's all just about what's happening between those lines. And that's what's another part of the growth that's fun, is now they've gotten rid of those firsts, and now it's how can I help this team be better.
I thought it was interesting, not surprising, but interesting and fun to hear. In the Illinois game the previous week, when Joe Ferguson was in the starting lineup, Dakota couldn't go, and it was Dakota who was, you know, pumping up Joe, say, hey, you're ready for this, you can do this. Coaches, you know, you want to hear it from the coaches, but when you hear it from a fellow player, that's gold, I would think.
You know it, and it means the most. And I think that's when sometimes it's just a look, sometimes it's just knowing, and that's what, you know, I think Dakota did a great job of. I mean, that hurt Dakota to not play, but then to be able to just say right now and go, and he wasn't making that up. Like, Ferg has been working his tail off,
And so when this moment came, didn't know when, if or when, and I think Dakota meant it. And I think everyone around felt, you know, Ferg, you're ready for this moment and take advantage of it, and he contributed.
Can't help but notice, we jump topics here a little bit with the linebacking core. You have so many former quarterbacks or high school quarterbacks. You know, T.J. Edwards was, Van Ginkel was, Tyler Johnson was. Does that go back to that probably means they were the best player on their high school team, and it just so happens they're perfect fits for linebackers with this team right now?
I think there's a lot of that. You know, if I'm a high school coach, I'm going to make sure that my best player touches the football, and typically that's either the quarterback or you're going to put them at running back, and you know, especially at that linebacker spot, and where, you know, there's so much going on. I think having that football sense is truly helpful, and like you said, I think they're probably the best athletes at their school that have enough size to be a linebacker, and so it's you always look for that and continue to hopefully get some guys that have that experience of just being a really good football player. That's a good place to start with a linebacker.
Absolutely. Badgers get ready for 2 more home games, one at a time. We know Iowa comes in this week, followed by Michigan, and then on the road to Minnesota, as we are, believe it or not, hitting into the stretch drive now of the regular season. Coach returns in a few minutes with the great day and great question of the week as we continue with the Badgers Sports Report.
Ready, Tim?
Let's do this.
Was that Mike?
That's Harry. The car stopped for me.
And that's automatic emergency braking.
The Nissan Rogue family. Take on today.
Bottom line, they still can't touch you.
I'll take it.
Get to Nissan, proud supporter of college athletics.
My salesperson is Joe Santowski, and from the moment I first walked through the doors here and he extended his hand to greet me, it's been the best relationship since then. He knows this brand and cars in general so well that I trusted him from the moment I met him. He was obviously so interested in exactly what I was looking for, what I wanted, but let me explore on my own.
This is Lexi Rush. She's 10, and she's amazing. You see, Lexi was born deaf and couldn't hear anything. That was until her doctor in Appleton referred her to the pediatric specialists at UW Health in Madison. Now, 2 operations later, Lexi can hear everything. Powerful minds, compassionate care, amazing results. UW Health, remarkable.
This Senior Salute is brought to you by UW Health, a cornerstone partner of Wisconsin Athletics.
I think one of the things that I kind of remember most, and it's something that I kind of take pride in, is just kind of the adversity that I had to overcome. Obviously, I started out with a few injuries at the beginning of my career, and having surgery, that kind of stuff, just being able to battle through that and kind of get to where I'm at today. There's a lot of people I have to thank for that, and I'm very grateful for it. So I think that's just something that I look back at. When the new coaching staff came in, once I got back, it was kind of like a fresh start for me. And I love the coaches here and everything that they bring to the table. And I love playing for them. And I just think that it's probably one of the best decisions that I've ever made, to just make sure that I kept pushing forward, knowing that there's more to come. So I think that's it was a really good decision.
Snap to Blau. Badgers bring in 4 pockets. Tight. Dooley got him. He gets the sack outside the 20-yard line. They'll mark at the 22 as Garret Dooley with a big sack for the Badger defense, loss of 7.
The number one thing that Garrett's brought us is physicality. You know, he's very physical every play, whether that's in the run game, in the pass game, you know, attacking tackles, things like that. He's very intelligent football player. He gets the game, he gets our scheme, and he plays hard every snap. It's a lot of fun to watch, and he's been very productive for us.
When did you know I belong?
I'd probably say, I think the Nebraska game last year. Vince was back, and I think it was his second game back, and we had gotten kind of a big, first or second game back, I can't remember, and we had kind of gotten a big victory out of that, and it kind of gave us a little bit more momentum facing a really good team, winning in overtime, and I was in the rotation playing a lot, and I just felt like with that big win under our belt that I was able to play at a high level and kind of help the team.
Armstrong in the shotgun, takes the knee-high snap, back to throw, pockets tight, down he goes! Penalty markers fly as well. Garret Dooley getting to Tommy Armstrong inside the 35 of Nebraska.
It was a play right before halftime in the Nebraska game, and I came off the edge and had a sack. It was a 2-minute, and they were trying to drive down the field to get some points right before half, and it basically stalled their drive, and we ended up going into the half with the lead. And so I just think that was kind of a big play for me, and it just it gave me a lot of confidence knowing that I could just be out there, help the team, and play at a high level.
What has it meant for you to wear the Motion W these 4 years?
It's been unbelievable. I mean, I think one of the biggest things that I've gotten out of it is the friendship. I mean, I lived with the same guys for 3 or 4 years, and Troy Fumagalli, he's been my roommate ever since freshman summer, and just having that type of bond with guys, especially, I mean, even on this entire team and as a defense, I think that's why we're so good, is because we kind of have that chemistry together where we can just go out, know everyone's got each other's backs, and I think that Motion W just kind of stands for the strong, tough, smart, tough, dependable guys, and I think it's just everyone takes that to heart, where everyone knows that we've got each other's back and we can just all go out there and fly around.
My salesperson is Joe Santowski, and from the moment I first walked through the doors here and he extended his hand to greet me, it's been the best relationship since then. He knows this brand and cars in general so well that I trusted him from the moment I met him. He was obviously so interested in exactly what I was looking for, what I wanted, but let me explore on my own.
Wisconsin, Mahindra's inventory clearance sale is going on now. We're reducing prices like never before on the toughest tractors on earth. Like a Mahindra E-Max 22 as low as $99 a month. Or get up to $8,100 in cash back and savings. Plus, Mahindra's 7-year limited powertrain warranty comes standard. So find your dealer at WisconsinMahindraDealers.com.
This is what collaboration looks like. This is what happens when a cardiologist in Appleton works step in step with specialists at UW Health in Madison. You see, when Terry's condition required a second opinion, his doctor turned to the cardiothoracic team at UW Health. Together, we made sure Terry got the care and the heart transplant he needed. Powerful minds, compassionate care, amazing results. UW Health, remarkable.
Ready, Tim?
Let's do this.
Was that Mike?
That's Harry. The car stopped for me.
And that's automatic emergency braking.
The Nissan Rogue family. Take on today.
Bottom line, they still can't touch you.
I'll take it.
Get to Nissan, proud supporter of college athletics.
The Badger Sports Report is presented by Hy-Vee. Where there's a helpful smile in every aisle, Hy-Vee proudly supports the Wisconsin Badgers. By UW Health. UW Health Sports Medicine, the healthcare team for the Badgers. Learn more at uwsportsmedicine.org.
Time now for the Great Dane Great Question of the Week. And Pete out in Palo Alto, California. Oh, we reach all areas of the country. Wants to know, Coach, have you had a chance to catch your nephew very much? Keller, quarterback of the Stanford Cardinals.
That's why it's coming from Palo Alto. But, you know, I have been able to, and that's what is one nice thing about You know, a lot of times our games are over and they're playing the night games, and they played on a couple Thursday night or Friday night, you know, saw them. But it's fun to watch. You know, Keller's a really neat person. He came to our bowl game. Actually, last year he played in the Sun Bowl. He hurt his knee, but you know, the next day got on a plane and was at the Cotton Bowl, and he follows our team closely and obviously care a lot about them, and so you want to watch as much as you can. I have to admit, though, there's a couple games where I've made it to the first half, and then I'm going to DVR it and I'll catch it up some other time. But it's fun to see what he's been doing and what their team's been doing.
And speaking of the Chryst family, Jeep, who fans would have remembered most recently with the San Francisco 49ers, back in coaching, still in the NFL, Denver, right?
Denver Broncos, yep.
Okay.
So the family's still in California, in Palo Alto, but he's with the Broncos and loving that. They got to get back on track a little bit, but he's been lucky to be. He's been in the NFL now like 18, 19 years, so it's been good.
Well, it's once a coach, always a coach, I guess, right? All right, thank you very much for your question. The Great Dane with the location up in Wausau, 4 in the Madison area, east side of town, downtown, Fitchburg, as well as Hilldale. Coach Chryst radio show coming up this Thursday night at 6 o'clock at the Great Dane, Hilldale. Badgers back home at Camp Randall Stadium, taking on the Iowa Hawkeyes this Saturday. We'll talk to you after next week's game. Thanks for watching.
Honoring all-around excellence in men's and women's collegiate competition. Every division, every sport, the Learfield Directors Cup. The prestigious award continues its reign as the crowning achievement in college athletics. To follow your favorite team, like us on Facebook, find us online and on Twitter. The Learfield Directors Cup.
Most people don't know that UW Health and the University of Wisconsin are national leaders in the field of kidney transplant. They provide new life for those who will likely die without a transplant, and they assure a normal life for those who donate. I would know. I donated a kidney, and together, we saved a life.
UW Health. Remarkable.
A pulse, felt by one, sends a ripple, felt by some. A shiver, felt by many, until it amplifies, magnifies into a tremor that electrifies. Badgers everywhere, moving as one.